What's up, guys? It is Chris here on Tuesday. I don't know what day it is. So, just finished the Easter long weekend, which was pretty hectic. Busier than I actually assumed it would be. Just seeing family. Stayed up at my parents' place for a night. Caught up with Jazz's family for a day. We got to catch up with my brother for a little bit, which was nice. Didn't get to catch up with any friends really, which was a shame. But it was just pretty full on, and in between all of that, just trying to get a bit of work done, and also a little bit of relaxing as well, because it's not very often that I just stop and relax on a sort of weekend like that. So yeah, just sort of getting back into the swing of things. Yesterday was Easter Monday. Pretty much just worked the whole day doing some client work and catching up on those things. But yeah, last week I did do an update. I think I did an update on Wednesday, but I never uploaded it for no particular reason. I just forgot after I'd filmed it. Normally I sort of film this before I go to work, and I don't really have Wi-Fi or anything to upload it, so I usually wait till the end of the day. I'd forgotten about it for a couple of days, and then I figured by the time it was uploaded, there's no point uploading it. So I just scrapped it, figured I'd catch up this week and catch up with you guys and just talk to you about what's been going on. Again, I've been drawing a lot, but a lot of it I can't show. Last week was a super hell week for me, in the good sense, but it was just super busy. Having lost Friday to being Good Friday, knowing the long weekend was coming up, and I had a 4-day week to get work done. I work in the comic shop 1 day a week, which depletes another day worth of illustration work. So I only really had 3 days. The first 2 days I ended up working on the children's book and finalising everything and getting it complete. I had, I think it was 3 illustrations left to do, and they've been quite time consuming. I had mentioned that I underestimated how long they take to do, and I sort of had to unfortunately pay for that in my own time and just finish that as quickly as possible, without sort of taking away from the quality of the work either. I wanted the work to be of the best quality that I could give the client, so I had to really put in the time to make sure that I did that. And look, I'm happy with the results. I wish I'd figured out that that's the way I was going to go before I'd quoted the job, but that's on me, and at least if I do that again in the future, I know sort of what to expect and how to charge a bit more accordingly, which is fine. So, a lesson learnt. That pretty much chewed up most of my time. I did manage to get a little bit done on another client job, which I jumped into again on Thursday, and a little bit of Friday as well. And this is a portrait job, a cartoon portrait job, which I'm having a bit of fun with. It's a family of 8 who I am turning into superhero characters, like all of their favourite superhero characters. So I'm currently working on that, and I've been trying to finalise that over the Easter weekend, which chewed up a bit of time. But now I've just got one more character left. Once that's done, I just need to collate it together, and those are actually going to be printed on a arcade machine, which is really cool. So hopefully once the arcade machine's done, they'll send me some photos and I'll be able to see what it looks like, and that'll be awesome. After that, I don't really have a lot of client work lined up. I've got a couple of portrait jobs that I need to do as well. It seems that for the most part, most of the work that I end up tends to be portrait work, which is fine. I don't mind doing it. It can be a little bit time consuming. Some, it's kind of a hit or miss. Some of them are really easy to draw. Some of them are very difficult, and it's more so, I just recently did one for a real estate company for the owner, and he had quite a chubby face, and I tried to stick to that as true as possible. But once it was done, they decided they didn't really want him to look too fat, too chubby. So it's like, I might be offended. I'm like, well, that's the way he looks, you don't want to deplete away from that. So I just had to scale it down a bit and try and keep the character of that person without being too offensive, I suppose. It's a hard line, and I feel like I need to spend a little bit more time now just even practicing some more portraiture, and just trying to learn a few more skills so I can be a bit better at it and a bit faster at it too, because that's where a lot of my money comes from. I have also been thinking about a few other ventures and ideas that I really want to work at. For those of you who follow me on Instagram would have noticed that I've been doing a few spot illustrations, I suppose you could call them. Some of them are just like character design illustrations, just like fantasy characters I've been drawing, the dog and the owl. Next to that, There was the coffee cup that I drew, and I'm doing a few more things like that as well. And the idea behind that is I want to be able to do a lot of my own property that I can sell online, and I'm trying to find ways to increase a revenue stream for myself, so essentially a passive income that I can create that's usable in a lot of mediums. So like taking the coffee cup for example, my intention for that is not only was that like a cool little meme that I could post on the internet and hopefully people will enjoy it, but I can then take that illustration, I can put it into Redbubble and sell them as t-shirts and gift cards and posters, leggings, that sort of thing. It's got text, but the text is removable or changeable, so I can put multiple things on it. I can then get some of those printed, and what I'm thinking of doing is doing a series of these sorts of designs, and then actually putting them onto gift cards, it's like postcards and greeting cards that I'll print out, and I can take them to shops and sell them at shops. Put up little stands and they can sell them there, so sort of targeting a physical market. And then I can also put them up onto places like Redbubble, Shutterstock. So Shutterstock, for those of you who don't know, is like a stock image website. You can just go on there, you search coffee cup, my design will come up, you can purchase it for a couple of dollars, and I get a kickback from that. And it's a worldwide resource, so anyone around the world can download that and have the rights to use it however they see fit. I take in the royalties, so if 500 people, hypothetically, download that cartoon coffee cup that I've drawn, I might get $500, like say $1 per person, which is pretty cool. So, let's say hypothetically 25 people a week download it, and I do 10 designs, and 25 people download those 10 designs. That's $250. I think, if my maths is correct, every week, which leads to an extra $1,000 in my bank account at the end of the month. I think that's a pretty good deal. It's just a nice little income, and then I've also got the products on Redbubble, I've got the greeting cards in store, plus I'm doing my freelance work, I've got this revenue coming in, and then I just continue to create more artwork, upload it, and increase my revenue as time goes on. The more my work gets downloaded, the more likely I am to get more hits in search results, the more money I make, etc., etc. It's sort of a overflow effect, or a waterfall effect, however you want to call it. That's the plan. So I need to start doing these little things in between all of the other client work that I'm doing. So I've been doing sketches, I've got a whole lot of ideas, I just need to start executing them. And I think some of it is really just spending the time thinking about it, coming up with ideas that will sell. And that's always the hardest thing, is you don't know what's going to sell, and what I think might sell doesn't necessarily translate into what other people want to buy. So I need to put myself outside of what I like and start thinking about what's popular, which is why I did the coffee cup. Everyone loves coffee. Coffee is a universally loved item. People just love seeing pictures of coffee, same as people love seeing pictures of cats. Same people love seeing pictures of so people who go fishing like to see pictures of fishing rods and fish and boats and the ocean. Just targeting all the things that I don't like. Not that I don't like them, but I'm not invested in them, but other people are, and that's where I need to start targeting things that are a little bit more popular than sort of my niche target audience, because that's where the money is. Just a little side story, just to sort of wrap this up here, is about 10 years ago, when I was really starting into illustration, one of the things I did, I was massively inspired by Martin Abel, who is a friend of mine now. He does a lot of pin-up girls, or at the time did a lot of pin-up girls, and I was very inspired by that and started drawing my own pin-up girls. Not as well as him, but I did draw them. And one of the characters that I drew was just a random character, because I was sort of really into the mood of learning about World War II and the Nazis and everything. So I did this pin-up girl with like a Nazi uniform attire, very sexy, of course, but the Nazi uniforms are quite interesting and very elegant for what they are, the whole ideal of it. And I just wanted to do a little take on that, just for a bit of fun, and so I did. and I put it up on Redbubble. I did a couple of them actually, a couple of different sort of Nazi girl designs. Now, I want to point out here that I'm not a Nazi. I don't believe in any of those views, fascism, etc. But it was just a design I did for fun, because stylistically it was just interesting. So anyway, I put them up onto Redbubble. This is when Redbubble was quite early, and I didn't really think much of it. I just sort of put it up there, thought it'd be a cool sticker or whatever. If people wanted to buy it, they could buy it. And I had a whole ton of other pinups, just like punk girls. A lot of them were really like cool tattooed girls with colourful, outrageous hair. But this one particular Nazi girl design that I did, which was based off of Betty Page Pose, did really well and sold a lot. Probably sold 5 or 6 items a week off of that design. Sort of coming back to what I was talking about, I don't believe in those ideals, but there's a large audience who do, and they have money, and they buy these things because they want to see the things that they want to represent on a sexy woman that they can put on a t-shirt or on a sticker. People were even downloading the image to get tattooed on them, which, despite this context, was quite cool to see my artwork tattooed on people. Everything in that design sort of hit the right buttons to make it sellable. So I need to start taking on those principles again, not towards the Nazi audience, but looking at things that are popular, that are also sellable, that I can own the rights to. So not fan art, not Captain America, not Batman, none of that. My own creations that are also just genuinely popular. And the problem is I struggle to think about some of these things. I really have to sit down and think, because when I have this sort of problem, I don't know how to explain it very well, or whether it's got a name, but whenever I have to stop and actually think about generating ideas, my mind automatically tries to think of everything as quickly as possible to solve the problem, when in truth is I need to actually sit down and process the problem and write down my solutions, or walk through my solutions slowly to come up with a good answer. So the problem is, I do this, okay, I need to think about something. It's happening right now because I'm trying to explain examples to you where, what's something general? The first thing that comes to mind is coffee, because I've already drunk coffee. It's an easy answer. Anything beyond that, I'm trying to step outside of the box and think of new ideas. It's almost like every idea I'm trying to think of sort of bottlenecks, and then nothing comes out, and then I can't get beyond that, and then it becomes too difficult, so I stop trying to think about it, and then I just step backwards again and just move to another direction that's simpler. So I need to actually sit down, and this lies part of the problem too. And during the nights it's been good because I have been sketching on the iPad and actually spending the time just sketching ideas, and that's where a lot of the development's coming from more freely, is that I can just sit down and sketch the ideas. But during the day, or during the times that I'm motivated to do this project, I'm busy, I'm doing other things, I'm doing client work, or I'm at my job, or I'm spending time with the family. I can't stop and just do them, so I try and think of the ideas as quickly as possible. It all bottlenecks, I stop, nothing comes of it, and that's it. So I need to get beyond that point, actually sit down and spend some time. Once I finish some of this client work, I can dedicate a bit of this time to do so. The other side of it is I also have the stress factor of I need to start making money to pay the bills. If I'm not doing anything that's earning me money by doing client work, then I can't allow myself time to sit down and do the things that don't earn me money immediately. So I'm in this weird crossroads of I really want to do this thing that's going to generate some money passively over time if I put in the time and the work now to make it happen, but I need to do the thing now quickly, which is just going to give me the monetary income immediately. This is going to be more worthwhile in the long term. This is only good in the short term, and I need to find a balance so I can work in the middle to do both. On top of that, and over here, the long term also includes my YouTube channel, my Instagram, and my how to draw books and everything like that. But I just don't. I'm really struggling to put the time together because all I'm worried about is making an income now, and that's taking precedence over absolutely everything, and it's really bothering me. I'm almost like at a point where I'm like, I just wish I had a full-time job because I don't have to worry about this anymore. I can just worry about this in the evenings and do my thing and make that happen over time. But I'm struggling to find a job as well, so I'm like, this just keeps clawing its way up and making me do it. And I hate it. But I don't hate what I'm doing. I just hate that I have to do it to make a living, preventing me from doing this. But I'm getting there. Just got to keep rolling with the punches. Hope that I land a big job that'll keep me going for a while, and then I can moderate my time to do this. Because also in this is included in Monkey Junk, and I haven't gotten to chapter 4 of Monkey Junk. And if I'm going to be truthfully honest to you guys, I'm only about halfway through finishing my anthology story, and I'm pretty sure the deadline's today. And I'm pretty sure I had a pretty rough night last night. I'm not going to go into details, but I had a loss in the family, and it's affected me a bit mentally in the past 24 hours. And the whole Monkey Junk thing, it's like I just want to call it quits. I want to do it. I want to finish it. It just can't be fucked right now because there's just pressure building from everything else that's prevented me from doing these whole 4 months pretty much. And I hate it. I feel like I've let everyone down, and by quitting I've let everyone down, but by not completing it I've already let everyone down anyway. And I hate it, but I also want to finish it so it's in the book because I want to be a part of that book. But if I really want, I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to go now. I'm sort of in angry rant mode, and I've been going for so many minutes. If you've actually made it this far, I appreciate it. Alright, I'll leave you alone. I'll try and update next week. Hopefully I'll have some better news. And hopefully I'll have some more artwork done, etc, etc. It's going to be an interesting week. We've still got another public holiday on Thursday with Anzac Day, which I'm probably going to be working most of. And I think I'm going to see Endgame that evening, hopefully. I don't really want to leave it too long because I don't want to get spoiled by anything. And then back to work Friday. And probably working most of the weekend, I think. I've got a few things on, but man, life doesn't stop. You just got to keep rolling and fighting. I'll catch you guys later. Thanks for watching. I'm Chris, if you don't know. Check out all my social media stuff down the bottom. I'd appreciate it. Give me a follow on Instagram because that's where I post the most. And if you want to support me doing the art, I try to post pretty much daily on my Patreon. It's been a few days because of Easter, sort of messed me up. But trying to post daily, just some new content as much as possible. $1 a month. Everything you post, everything you pledge helps me sort of, get rid of this guy so I can focus on this guy. Alright, thanks a lot. I'll catch you later.